After entering the spirit world alone, Dominic is confronted by a shadowy apparition, a dark and twisted version of himself.
What are you?
I am the perfect form of you. You without emotion, without weakness. Tremble at how powerful I am.
He instantly conjures a fireball and hurls it into Dominic's face, summoning all his power. Dom conjures a fireball of his own and shoots it forward. The two fireballs collide in a huge explosion of flame.
You're stronger than I give you credit for.
If you're what I become, then I'm going to have to make some serious personality changes.
Enough chit-chat.
He disappears in a cloud of dark tendrils.
Over here, Dominic.
Dominic turns, and he reforms in an instant. His cold hand snaps around his neck, lifting him up into a chokehold.
I thought you of all people would put up more of a fight.
Dominic feels his grip tightening, and the world growing dim.
This isn't who you are. Remember who you love.
Love? I don't love anyone.
The grip around Dominic's neck loosens briefly, then grows even tighter.
You do love someone. You love Kenna.
I loved Kenna. Once. But that was before.
His grip once again loosens to the point where Dominic can almost slip out of it, but he catches himself, and it tightens yet again. Dominic can feel life leaving from his body.
Do not think you can trick me into letting you escape. You may think you know me, Dominic Hunter, but you know nothing.
I know that deep down you are me. And that means you still love Kenna. Because I will always. Kenna is my true love.
His eyes glaze over. He lets Dominic go, falling to his knees and burying his face in his hand.
I do love her. I don't know when I told myself I didn't. But I don't know who I am anymore.
He stares at Dominic, and slowly his body evaporates, the pieces scattering off in the wind.
That's one way to make an exit, and that means now it's time to make mine.
As Dominic closes his eyes, he hears a familiar sound, a faint chirrup in the distance.
It can't be. That sounds like...
A moment later, a glowing shape materializes into Pidge, a white light haloed around him.
I've missed you so much, Pidge.
Pidge takes a tiny step forward, stretching his feathery neck out. Dominic crouches down, ruffling his feathers.
You were just waiting for me, weren't you?
Pidge looks up at Dominic, a sadness in his eyes.
Waiting to say goodbye.
Pidge nuzzles his head against Dominic's knee. He notices he's holding a fiery orb in his claw. He crouches down, preparing to fly away. Dominic whistles 2 short blasts. Pidge nods enthusiastically, dropping the orb into Dominic's hand before flying away.
Goodbye, old friend.
Dominic stares into the orb and finds himself back in the real world. He climbs out of the volcano, resting on the slop lip, unscathed.
I did it! I passed the test!
Beside Dominic, he sees the fiery orb nestled into a crack in the volcanic rock.
But that can't be. Pidge gave that to me in the spirit world.
With a burst of fiery red light, it splits open, revealing a blazing phoenix.
Whoa! You look just like Pidge. Well, except for the whole on fire thing. That's new. So, you remind me a lot of Pidge, but you're also clearly something new. Maybe you should have a name too. I'll call you Blaze. How's that?
Blaze nuzzles against Dominic's side, the fire that emanates from him warming his skin. Anu approaches, stunned.
Oh, that's a phoenix. They are legendary among our people. One hasn't been seen for thousands of...
He reaches out to touch Blaze, but catches himself, turning to Dominic as he straightens up.
You disobeyed me. What do you have to say for yourself?
I'm not sorry.
Excuse me?
You didn't think I had it in me, but I did, Anu. I went to the spirit world in lava and survived.
You are reckless. and your recklessness will be your downfall. But I cannot deny I was wrong. Clearly, you possess more control over your emotions than I thought.
Does that mean you'll train me?
Yes, against my better judgment. I will go into the spirit world with you. I will teach you the final step toward finding your dragon.
Zenobia's just announced the entertainment at her ball. Prisoners fighting to death in a pit.
This is barbaric.
I had hoped we would not have to witness such brutality.
Annalise stopped short, letting the lake of nobility push past her as they jostle each other for space around the fighting pit.
I can't watch this. I knew the Nevrakis family was cool. But this...
He's right. It's sickening. But we must play our parts for now. Ada wants Zenobia's necklace, and we need Ada's help to stop Hex and overthrow Zenobia. We just have to be careful not to expose ourselves to.
You needn't be so paranoid, Helene. I'm only going to get more wine.
Looking over Kenna's shoulder, she realizes the crowd around her has thinned, and Zenobia and Eleni are about to walk right past them.
Must you cling so close to me, Helene? I don't need 2 necklaces.
My only thought is for your safety, Highness.
Annalise, we must hide!
Oh no! Oh no! No, no!
Quick, we'll blend into the crowd.
Grabbing Annalise, Kenna pushes her ahead of her into the mob of spectators. Raiden moves ahead of her, gently nudging nobles aside to clear their way.
It's okay. They won't spot us in here. Just keep moving toward the middle.
They all work their way forward, shielding themselves from Eleni's view as she and Zenobia walk by behind them.
I'm so pleased Duchess Leander could finally come to one of my parties. She's been so much more fun since her husband died in that... What did we decide on? A hunting accident? Helene, are you even listening to me?
Yes, Your Majesty. I thought I saw someone, but never mind.
I've already forgotten everything you just said. Come, the first fight is about to start and I still need a drink.
They walk away, out of earshot.
Thank goodness! I'm so sorry, Kenna. I completely panicked.
You did fine. I'm just glad you're all right.
The crowd cheers as the side door opens, and 2 captives step into the pit and begin fighting.
One thing that is less alright, as long as the fearsome woman's attention is on Zenobia, stealing from her will proved very difficult.
Then we'll just have to distract Helene.
I've seen that look on your face before.
Don't do anything rash now, my lady. Don't forget, she's seen your face before too.
Kenna gestures at her gilded mask.
I'm covered, remember?
What are you up to, Kenna?
Just be ready to grab that necklace when the moment's right.
Leaving Annalise and Raiden behind, Kenna makes her way to the edge of the fighting pit. Down inside, the 2 captives circle each other, their clothes blood-caked and their bodies sweaty.
Ugh, I feel dirty just being here. What kind of person actually enjoys this?
Kenna's eyes move to the other side of the pit, where she sees a dark-haired woman leaning casually against the gilded rail.
Could that woman be Hex? She looks just like Whitlock's descriptions.
Hex takes a small leather-bound book out of her pocket and starts scribbling inside. Zenobia appears beside her with a drink in hand, Eleni close behind.
If I can get over there, I might be able to see what's in Hex's notebook and distract Helene.
Kenna weaves through the increasingly rowdy crowd of cheering spectators until she's right behind Hex.
You're sure you don't need a drink, Helene? Combat's twice as thrilling when your head's spinning.
I'll pass.
Kenna stands on her toes, trying to get a glimpse of Hex's notebook.
Hells, she's too tall. I can't see over her shoulder. Excuse me, could I get by? I'm afraid I can't see a thing.
Kenna edges her way into the inner circle to lean against the golden railing. Hex glances at her briefly, then turns back to her notes. She pretends to be absorbed in the brutal fight below, clapping and cheering as one of the captives sinks his axe into the other's shoulder.
Did you see that? I swear I heard his bones crunch.
Hooray! Well done! Finish him!
Kenna looks down at Hex's notebook and sees a sketch of Dom with his brand clearly rendered and labeled.
What does that mean?
Kenna clenches her shaking hands into fists. rage boiling in her stomach.
I don't know what this means, but if she's hurt Dom...
In the pit below, guards escort the victor out through a side door, followed by servants dragging the mangled body of the loser.
I have an exciting announcement. Our next fight includes a very special guest star, provided by my good friend, Hex.
Zenobia leads a round of applause as the next two fighters are brought out. One of them wears a strange metal device on his head.
Begin.
The man wearing the device springs forward, his face contorted with inhuman rage. Bright flames explode from the man's hands, incinerating his opponent in seconds.
Hex has found more fire wielders, and she's controlling them.
From Kenna's vantage point, beside Hex, Eleni, and Zenobia, she stares as the blackened remains of the previous fighter are dragged away through a side door.
Very efficient, Anton. But perhaps we should slow down a touch and give these kind people more of a show,
A new challenger is brought in to face the fire-wielding young man.
What? Master Anu! Help me!
In the pit below, the new challenger edges toward Anton, weakly brandishing a club in his trembling hands. Anton moves toward him, snarling, then stops.
No! So sorry! Please!
Anton's opponent takes advantage of his confusion, desperately swinging his club. His blow catches Anton in the chest, knocking him down.
Yes, finally, some drama.
I can't just stay back here and watch this. It's too cruel. I know what I have to do.